Hey guys, it's Karen of Karen Gwen Customs. Today I'm going to be giving you guys a tutorial on how to make these wire bound booklets. This is the process for how I created my dressmaking primer booklets, but if you're interested in making journals or planners, it's the same process. So if you'd like to learn how to do that, stay tuned. But before you do, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, share this video with a friend who may be interested in my content. Make sure you follow me on Instagram at KGC Sewing Patterns. Check out my Etsy store, etsy.com/shop/Karen Gwen Customs, and also join my Facebook sewing group, KGC Sewing Patterns. Let's get started. So this is my primer, and I print it from Microsoft Word. I design all the pages in Canva. So when you see like one of these, this is actually an image because I designed the pages in Canva, and then I download it as images, and then I paste them in where I want them to be. So this is 8.5 by 11 paper on landscape. So if you were opening a new document, you would just go to layout up here, and then orientation, you would change from portrait to landscape so that it lays long ways. And then for my margins, I have it set to 1/4 inch around all of the edges. And then my images are 5 inches wide, and I think they're 8 inches long. And if you're printing like a booklet, there is a specific way, because this is for half size sheets. So if you're printing a booklet, your pages have to be in a certain order. You'll see there's a pattern that the numbers go. So left side, you have 1. On the next page, the right side is 2. On the next page, the left side is 3, 4, 5, so on and so forth. But then on the other sides, you have page 50 on the right side. The left side is 49, the right side's 48, left side's 47, right side's 46, and so on and so forth. And then the last page of the document is actually the 2 middle sheets, which are pages 25 and 26. So that's how that works. Then once you print it out, it comes out double-sided. The way my printer is, I have to print on both sides, flip pages on long edge. And I think that's backwards. I think it's supposed to actually be short edge, but I select long edge and it comes out correctly. And then once you print it, then you move into cutting them down the middle so that you can bind them. So what I'm doing now is I'm about to cut out my covers for the primers. So this is how it prints out. You have the back cover, the front cover, and then the insides of each of those. And because of the size of my box, I have to actually cut the covers down because they're going to be laminated. And once I laminate them, if I leave them actual size, they're too big to fit in the box. So I just trim all of the print border off so they can be the right size for lamination. Okay, so once I trim them, this is how they look. So here's my front cover and the inside of the front cover, and then here is the back cover and the inside of the back cover. Now these are going to be laminated, so once I laminate them, this is how it looks. And you have this laminated croquis template that you can basically draw on with dry erase or permanent marker and erase as needed. So yeah, I have to do 40 of these. When I finish this stack, I'll have 20 sets, and then I need to print 20 more. So I'm now about to laminate my primer covers, and I'm going to be using my Scotch laminating machine. These are very, very inexpensive. They're like $20. You can find them at Walmart, Target, Amazon, and then this is the lamination sheets that you purchase for them, and these are also inexpensive. This 50 sheet pack is $15 at Michael's. It was on sale for $10 today, so I went and got a couple of those. But I usually get them from Amazon because I can usually get like 100 for like $15-20. So what I did, I pressed the power button on my lamination machine to turn it on. So you basically have to wait for it to get hot. And the laminating sheets are activated by heat. So you turn it on, and once it's hot, you feed the lamination sheets through the machine, and it basically melts them together. So this is what they look like, and it's basically a sandwich. So the sheets are connected at the end here, and then you put whatever you're laminating on the inside. You cannot cut these. You have to use the entire sheet and cut them after. You can't cut them before you feed them through the machine. So I printed out this grid paper because I need to make sure that I have a certain amount of space around each of my laminating, or each of my primer covers. I want a 1/4 inch of space around each side. So I printed this out to use as a guide to place under my laminating sheet, so I can see like how much space I have around the edge of my covers. So basically I just lay the laminating sheet down on top of the paper. And then I do my front cover first, and I just slide it over inside in between the sandwich, and I have it lined up so that it's showing me a 1/4 inch of space on each side. And you don't have to do this process every time you laminate. I'm just doing this because I need a precise amount of space around each edge of my paper. Like so. Same thing, I want a 1/4 inch of space around each edge. Okay, so that's that. And making sure to not like move my paper, I'm just gonna place this to the side, and I'm gonna get another sheet and keep placing my covers until my lamination machine warms up all the way. When it warms up all the way, the little light is gonna change from red to blue, so that's how I'll know when it's hot enough. So my machine is hot now. You can see the light has turned blue, and there's this little flap in the back of the machine, and you basically just put the flap up, and I have my paper pinched over here because I want to make sure this sheet doesn't move, because I have it exactly where I want it. And you basically just feed the paper through the back of the machine. Once it gets in a certain depth, the machine is going to start pulling it through on its own. And again, I'm still holding this paper because I don't want it to move. And as you can see, it's coming out all nice, crisp, and laminated on the other side. So this is what it looks like. And I'm gonna be cutting these out after I finish laminating everything. I'm gonna cut these out and then hole punch them. Okay, so I have my cinch binding machine on the table in front of me, and I'm going to be using this to punch holes in my primer covers since I have laminated and cut out all of them. And what I'm going to do is take my cover like this. So I have two pieces, and I'm going to lay it face down like so. I don't know what this thing is called, but make sure it's pushed in all the way, and make sure that all of the pegs are pushed inwards. Making sure that your paper is pushed in all the way is critical because you want to make sure that your holes are lined up properly. And then you're going to take your lever and push it down all the way. Then you're going to take this thing and pull it all the way out. Pull your paper out, and you can see the holes have been made. You're going to then take your paper and push it all the way to the end to where you have pulled your lever out, and you're going to pull out this peg. It's peg 5 for me because of the size paper I have. Pulling out this peg means that my machine will not punch a hole right here. If it was to punch a hole right here, it would be literally at the bottom edge of the paper, and I don't need that, so I pull that one out. Again, make sure your paper is pushed all the way inwards, and you're going to pull your lever again. And there you have it. We have successfully hole punched the primer laminated covers. And so I'm just going to do all of these. I haven't printed the insides yet, but I'm doing all the covers first. And then once I do the insides, I'll come back and show you guys how to actually bind the books together. Okay, so this is how the booklet looks when it comes out of the printer. So remember, I already did my covers. This is the second page, and then here's the last page, and here's the center of the booklet. So what I have to do is cut all of these in half. This is 13 sheets of paper right here, so I just kind of split it into two, and I take the first 6 sheets, center them on my cutting board, and cut them at the 5.5 inch mark. And then I do the same thing with the other 7 sheets. Then I put it back together. And it's all ready to be hole punched and bound. So I have to do like 38 more of these. Okay, so I've printed and cut about 16 guts of the primer. So here's the paper right here, and then I already did my covers. So now I'm about to hole punch and bind the entire books together. So this is the binding that I have. I got it from eBay. Comes in a box like this. It was a pack of 50, and it is 5/8 inches, and it's a 2-to-1 pitch, meaning that's how that's the spacing of the holes is 2-1 pitch. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna split my paper in half because I can only do 20 sheets at a time, and since this was 14 full sheets, that means I have actually 28 sheets. So I'm just going to split this in half, and I'm going to lay it down like this. You want to make sure this thing is pushed in all the way so that it's aligned properly, and you want to make sure your paper is pushed back all the way. All the pegs are pushed in, and I'm just going to push down on my lever. It does get hard when you have a lot of pages. Okay, And then I'm gonna pull out peg number 5, because remember, we don't want a half of a hole in the bottom edge of the paper. I'm gonna slide this all the way out. Here are my holes. And then I'm going to push my paper all the way out to the edge. And make sure it's pushed all the way back. My peg 5 is out. And then I'm gonna lower the lever again. And now I have punched all the holes. Okay, now I'm gonna punch my other half of my paper. So I'm gonna slide this back in, push my peg 5 back in because I want all my hole punchers to be engaged. And I'm gonna just stick it in all the way, make sure this is in all the way. My paper's pushed all the way back. Lower the lever. Pull this out, pull out peg 5. And so now I have holes punched through both parts of my book. Next thing you're going to do is turn your machine to the side, and you're going to take your binding and lay it down like so. And then you're going to take the back cover of your book and lay it onto the binding. Then you're going to take the guts of your book, add it to your binding, and then you're going to take your cover and top it off. Then you're going to pick up your binding turn your machine back around so that the back of the machine is facing you, and this is where we're going to insert our binding to press it down. And you're just going to put it like this so that the binding, the teeth are pressed up against the little wall thing. And then you're going to lower your lever to close the binding. Then you're going to slide it down and close the rest of the binding. Now I have, oh, actually, let me do this one more time because it wasn't tight enough. There we go. And for this part, you really want to have a wire cutter, but I do have some really heavy duty scissors that are strong enough to cut this. But I just take my cutting utensil and snip it off right here. And so now my book is bound, and that's how it looks. Perfect. So yeah, now I have to do the rest of these. So I just printed out the stickers that are gonna go on the covers of my boxes. These are Avery half sheet labels, and I got them from Amazon. So this is how they print it out. And as you can see, I printed these from Microsoft Word. So the center of the edge of the label is right here. So I'm actually going to be trimming these down so they won't have any like white space around them. Okay, so here's what the label looks like after I've cut it down. And here's one of the boxes. So basically, you just fidget with the corner until it separates from the sticker. And stick it down like so, and there you have it. So that was a tutorial on how to bind the booklets, and now I'm just going to show some behind the scenes of the rest of the process of getting the pattern kits ready to ship. I ordered my full-size patterns from pdfplotting.com, so this is what the prints look like when they come right out of the box. This is my lovely husband who graciously volunteered to help me cut patterns.
She said no cootie cat.
And
no
you can't say that on my channel. He's doing such a good job. He's doing such a good job using all of those fine motor skills from elementary school.
I ain't barely got them.
This is my son, Javari. He's 11. He helped cut out all of the circle skirt template, so shout out to him. And he also helped me put all of the shipping labels on my packages. So this is me folding the pattern pieces. So here I'm doing skirt front and skirt back together. So I had to do this for every single pattern piece for all 40 pattern kits. So imagine skirt front, skirt back, bodice front, bodice back, sleeve, godet, mermaid skirt front, mermaid skirt back, and circle skirt templates and example darts. So it was a ton of work, but I do it because I love my customers and presentation is everything, and I'm really happy with how it came out. But yeah, it was a lot of work. I'm now in packing stage. I have 8 boxes in front of me, and I've put the primers, the booklets inside of them, and I'm about to fill them up with the appropriate patterns. And yeah, I have 40 of these to do. This is my 3-year-old daughter, Kylie, and she helped me put all of the marketing inserts into each package. So as you can see, this was truly a family project because everybody helped out, and I am very appreciative of that. So that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you learned something about how to make your own journals or planners as you watch me in the process of making the booklets for my dressmaking primers. Don't forget the dressmaking primers are on sale on my Etsy store, etsy.com/shop/KarenGwenCustoms. Make sure you check it out and purchase your copy before they are gone. Again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.